Okay, today I'm not painting a greeting card, I'm painting a canvas. It's 11 by 16, I think, and it's acrylic paint, and it's just a simple landscape of a lake with a little pathway along the lake. And I wanted it to be springtime or summertime. Just thought I'd have some fun. I don't know what possessed me to include in today's video information about my weight loss journey, but I did. So keep in mind you're going to hear that if you want to. You can skip through it. But anyway, today's painting is acrylic paint on a canvas. Well, it's a small canvas by most standards, but it's bigger than my greeting cards. The greeting cards are, what, 5 by 7, I think? So there's the difference in size. You can see it's considerably larger. But I kind of used the same technique, the impasto technique, laying it on thick. And all right, that's all I have to say. So here we go. All right, today a slightly larger surface. Normally I'm painting greeting cards, but today I have a canvas, and it is 11 by 17, and I got it at Hobby Lobby. And I saw them sitting there, and I just thought, well, they need something on them. They can't be blank. So I'm going to use a slightly stiffer brush, and we'll see how this goes. I haven't done many of these, and I'm going to start with this acrylic medium. It's called Slow Dry. Actually, you know what? I think I want to change my mind about that. I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to use a little bit of gesso, even though the package said that it was already coated with gesso. I'm going to coat it again, just a little bit. So let me put a little bit on it, a little bit, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I might have to turn the camera off. Ooh, there's a big glob. That's all I need. I might have to turn, whoops, that's the water. I might have to turn the camera off to give it time to dry. But I don't know. I'm kind of winging this one as we go along today. All right, what I want to do is take a little bit of I don't know what color. What is this one? This is called burnt sienna. Yeah, maybe a little bit of burnt sienna. This is an old tube. Wow. This has been around a while. Okay. Wow, look how pasty that is. Alright, let me mix that with a little bit of orange also. I got some orange here. So I'm going to mix that in with the gesso. What I want to do is create a dark, kind of a layer on the bottom here, just so it's not completely white. I'm just going to spread this out. Make sure that gesso doesn't stay white. I think gesso doesn't dry white anyway. It dries clear. But I'm going to add a lot more orange. I'm going to have to open up that orange again. So this is, just spread it out and bring it to the edges. Yeah, and I do want it thin, so I'm okay with it being thinned out. And then when I get to the edge, I want to paint the edge also, the edge of the canvas. Yeah, let's just get this covered everywhere. I've been there. So how you guys doing? Today is Monday. This coming Sunday, next Sunday, is Mother's Day. If you're a mother, happy Mother's Day. Robin's mom is 92 years old. So we'll be having Mother's Day with her. And Robin's brother is a musician in an orchestra. He's a percussionist. So we'll be going to see the Mother's Day concert, and I will videotape it. The band seems to really like when I videotape their concerts. Apparently they don't have any other way of having a record, so to speak, of their performance. So I just started taping them, just to have it, so that the family could see what Robin's brother does, because they don't all live in the area, So I started taping it for that reason, and then I come to learn that the band itself, the conductor of the band, and the band members, they like seeing those videos. So I think where we're going is a church. I think that's where they're having the concert. And usually I can get a seat right up front, which is really good because I can set my camera up on a tripod. And basically, I just turn it on. I turn it, to aim at certain things that are happening. And what's that? Is that brown right there? Let me add a little bit of darkness to the bottom. This is all just kind of winging it because I don't really know what I'm going to do on this canvas. But I probably will have to turn off the camera to wait. I'm just trying to get a little bit of an idea here of a composition. I know it doesn't look like much of a composition right now, but this is the idea. I don't know if you can see anything there. Well, if in the intro, I probably have the picture done in the intro, so you've seen it. All right, like that. Now let me do the edges here. Just get them painted. And that's going to make it really hard to keep it neat. I'm going to be messy. So I'll let this dry. Well, I've been thinking lately about getting a record player, a vinyl turntable, turntable that plays vinyl. Because lately, I don't know why, but I've been thinking about record albums from like when I was younger. And even though you can hear them on the internet and stuff, I keep thinking I just want to have that experience of, maybe it's a tactile thing, where you hold on to a record and you hold on to the album cover. You guys, can you relate to that, what I'm talking about? So, oh gosh, okay. Let this keep going on here. Okay, keep going. I've been trying to lose weight lately. I don't know if I've ever shared that with you. But I really need to lose weight, so maybe while this is drying, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I know oh my God, I've probably struggled with weight all my life. Well, that's not true though. I would say all of my older life, because when I was younger, if I look at old pictures of myself, I don't look heavy. But that doesn't mean, I don't know what it doesn't mean. Anyway, I'll tell you what I'm doing. It's kind of personal, but if it helps somebody. You know what I was thinking? All right, let me get this down here. All right, so now this has to dry. This is a mess. Oh my gosh, this is an accident waiting to happen. Oh gosh. All right, that is just a mess. So that has to dry. So I'm going to take the brush, just put it in the water, I'll have to clean that brush. There's just no way I can use that brush right now. All right, well, let me me just let that dry. Gosh. I hope I didn't make a mistake by doing it that way. All right, let me let it dry, and well, I'll tell you my little weight loss thing. All right, well, that's drying. By the way, my palette, here's my palette. It's just a bunch of different colors. All right, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing to lose weight. I am not a doctor, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I'll tell you what, I've tried a couple different things. So here's my story. Here's a little bit of my story. My son said to me, my son is, let's see, this is 2025, so he's going to be 39 years old in July. Okay, wow. It's hard for me to believe. He's almost 40. But last year, I just wanted to establish that he's an adult. And he said to me, and he's a dad, and I'm Papa because of his son. See, that's why I'm Papa. So he said to me, Dad, I'm worried about you. He said, I'm worried about you. And so he told me to start eating right. And I said to him, what do you mean eat right? What are you talking about? Now, okay, I have to be honest with you. I was 450 pounds. The word was is kind of key right here. And the word was is giving me a license to tell you this, but I am nowhere near what I should be right now. I've lost about 55 pounds. Let me see. I'm going to tell you what I did too. I'm not going to make it long and boring, and I have nothing to sell you. But I want to show you something. All right, this says, I have an app, and I'm keeping it a mystery for a second here. But I'll tell you what, don't worry. So this says I have lost 54.2 pounds. And that's since I started. And I've been doing this for 95 days, I think. Something like that. How come it doesn't tell me that? But anyway, I've been doing it since, oh, here we go. I've been doing it since January 30th. That's when I started, January 30th. And now it's May 5th. So, however long that is. And in that time, I've lost 54.2 pounds. Okay? I'm going to tell you what I'm using. I'm using Weight Watchers. I know. You might have done it before. I've never done it before. Robin told me, use Weight Watchers. And I just thought, oh, that's something ladies do. Or, just, I don't need to be going to meetings. Well, I don't go to meetings. I have an app. And I don't need to be buying special foods. And I don't. I'm telling you, I eat everything. There's nothing I don't eat. I've had, in the past, since January 30th, when I started this, I've had pizza. I've had ice cream. I had pie yesterday. I had key lime pie, as a matter of fact. But it's limited. But there's nothing I cut out. Nothing. I've had bread, but I don't have much bread. But if there's anything I cut out completely, and this is just my own doing, you don't have to cut it out. I've completely cut out a bad habit I had, which was mayonnaise sandwiches. I know that sounds gross to some people, but I used to do that. Go to the refrigerator, just lather on mayonnaise on 2 pieces of bread, go sit at the couch or in my easy chair or whatever. And that's another thing. I had an easy chair. I still do, but I spent too much time in it. All right? Well, that's the truth. I'm being honest. It's embarrassing. I'm still embarrassed by my weight, but there's so many people, by the way, that are really insensitive to other people about different things. They'll shame them for their height, for their weight. They'll shame them for their skin tone, whether it's a racial thing or who knows what it is. But people can be cruel. So if that's happening to you, you just gotta let that go. It's hard, I know. But anyway, let me tell you about the weight. So I'm using Weight Watchers, and I'm going to show you where it says that I've lost 54.2 pounds. Can you see that on there? I try to show you. And that's it. There's a little graph on here too that I like, and it'll actually show you. Look, it'll show you that I went up today. Today I went up a little bit. But if you notice on the chart, there's a lot of times it goes up, and then it goes down. And I guess that's just the way it is, you know. But the thing that makes this work for me, oh, you see where it says my current weight? What does it say? 397.8. You see that? I'm not proud of that. I'm embarrassed by that, but I'm proud that I'm less than I was. I was 452 when I started. This is just between you and me. I mean, we're artists. We're going through so many different life struggles, you know, relationship struggles and everything else. And painting is therapeutic, but it's not a cure-all. You know, it's just something I do for fun. All right, so I wanted to show you the other part of this. All right, right here, you see where it says 66 points? That's how many points I have per day. Now, the heavier you are, the more points it gives you. As you lose weight, that number gets lower. I think when I started, I had 72 points. Now, what are points? Well, points are, and the app tells you everything. And the app, you do have to pay for the app. It's not for me. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm just sharing this with you. Okay, it says I've been going 95 days. There's the number. But the points, I'm trying to see. Okay, what to eat. Okay, so they have this part on the app called What to Eat. And I'm looking for, oh, here we go. Something called 0 point foods. They have this called 0 point foods. So you allocated a certain number of points. Eggs are 0 points. I'm going to tell you a little more about that. Fish, 0 points, as long as it's not deep fried. Chicken without the skin, 0 points. Can you believe some of these things? Vegetables, including potatoes, 0 points. Yeah, they're all on there. Yogurt, can you see them? They're all 0 point foods. Now, you also have to watch your calories. So that's what I do. But basically, I started out just looking at the points and trying to keep everything under the certain points. But now other points, ice cream. Yesterday I had key lime pie. That was a high points. Oh yes. Let me see if I can show you that one. Let me go back to yesterday. How do I go back a day? Anyway, there's so many different tools on the app that might help you. Let me go back to yesterday. Yesterday was the 4th. Okay, so yesterday I want to show you I had key lime pie. See where it says key lime pie? Right there. 28 points, you see? 28 points. So that's pretty bad. That's pretty high. And when you look at the number of calories in that key lime pie, look at that. 505, is that? 505 calories. I hope this isn't boring to you. I know I'm waiting for my paint to dry. It's not there yet. I might have to turn the camera off. Anyway, other things. Let me find something. Oh, so Robin made meatloaf. Okay. So here's the meatloaf, and they don't have Robin's meatloaf on here, but they have meatloaf. and that one had 10 points. See, giant meatloaf home style. You see that? And it says 10 points. Anyway, I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. And for me, it is working. It's making me, oh, and you want to know something? It's not about being, the next statue of David or whatever. It's not trying to be perfect in that regard. It's just trying to feel better. And I absolutely do feel better just already. So, and I intend to try to get down enough so that I can, I have a goal to walk 5 miles without stopping. I know that doesn't sound like much to many of you, but that's my goal. And so there, that's my whole story. All right, I gotta wait for this to dry, so I'll turn the camera off and I'll be right back. And I hope you don't mind that I shared my weight loss story with you. I just thought maybe it would help somebody. If you've never tried Weight Watchers, I know. Well, here's the thing, real quickly before I stop. I see these commercials for these different medicines. I don't know. I don't trust them. They have so many different side effects, and you read so many horror stories of. I just don't know. The Weight Watchers plan really does allow you to eat anything. You just have to watch how much you eat, and maybe take a walk every day. I've been going about 2 miles a day now, so I'm getting there. And before I wasn't even going half a mile, so that's changed too. All right, I'm gonna stop talking about this. I'll get back to the painting. All right, I'll turn this off and come back when the canvas is dry. Okay, it's been about an hour, and now the canvas is dry. So let me lay that back down on the desk and turn the camera facing it. It is a little bit odd color because of that light. Let me see if I turn that light off. That might be a more accurate color. But I need some light on it, otherwise it might not. Yeah, I'll do like reflective light. Well, then I can't see it. Oh, wait. Oh, I can adjust the brightness of this light. Well, we'll just have to work with that. Maybe that's better. Okay. All right, so let's get started with the painting now. So just so you know, I have a palette here of different colors. These are all acrylic, by the way. And I do have my spray water bottle so that it won't dry out on the palette. You can probably tell that I've already sprayed the palette. All right, well, let's just get started. I don't have any real rhyme here or reason or whatever you say. I'm going to use another stiff brush. I'm going to start with white. I'm just going to put it up here in the top of the painting and maybe consider making a sky up here. So you might be saying, well, why are you putting white when the sky should be blue? I will put blue. Let's see, I'm going to put white first, because that way I can mix the blue right on the canvas with the white and spread it so that it becomes how do I want to say this, less consistent. Yeah, I don't want it to be consistent. I want it to be darker in some areas or bluer. Is that a good way of saying that? Just try and get it on there. And my technique is absolutely, if you're noticing, just I dab it on. I don't know when I started doing that, but I do that. And this is, since this is a larger surface here, I'll probably need to keep going back to my paint and adding more paint to my palette. In fact, I can already tell that that's happening. The white is almost gone. Yeah, let me go back and get some more white off the palette. Let me add some of this light blue first. Let's just see how I like that. because that might help spread it out. There we go. That's not too bad. You get some of this white, this blue mixed in with that white. It looks kind of nice. Get that light blue in there. Maybe a little bit dark blue over here. It's one of the things I like about painting with acrylic is that it has this ability to be very thick, and I don't know, it's just the way I like it. I like being able to see the texture of the paint, especially like in today's world with AI art showing up everywhere. I kind of don't, it's kind of offensive to an artist when somebody sees your work online and accuses you of using AI to make it. It is kind of an offensive thing. So, I don't know, just a thought I've had about that. And perhaps this will need to be dry also. Sometimes I like to paint wet on wet, and other times I like to put wet on dry. All right, let me get some more white. White. Yeah, white gets used a lot. There. So, there's the white now. I can edit on some more. I have an invitation to go to a 60th wedding anniversary up in Connecticut. So I'm giving that some thought. That's my cousin and her husband. Well, they're both my cousins. I always forget. All these years later, you forget. What? How could you forget? No, I didn't really forget. It's just, it's not that I forgot, it's just a language thing. You know, you say my cousin and you refer to the actual cousin. Oh, never mind. You already know. But it's kind of the idea I had here. There's a little bit more blue there. A little more blue. It's lighter toward the horizon. Keep it very, very painterly, very, I guess some people call it loose or impressionistic or expressionistic. There we go, put a little bit of blue on there. And maybe, let's see if I can get some pure white here just to perhaps make some clouds. Just spread it around. That'll sort of serve as clouds right there, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. All right, now down here, I want to add some blue also. I'll kind of make a lake down here, so let's add some of this darker blue. And add some Payne's gray. I think this is the Payne's gray here. Yeah, right about there. Yeah, that looks like a good edge of the lake kind of a look right there. Yeah, keep it very, very, very loose right now. Trying to get some of that green in there, some of those trees. There we go. So the green for the background trees will be reflecting in the water, of course, but I also want to keep them kind of light and faded. So that's why I'm kind of mixing it with the white from the sky. As long as that white is still wet, I can do that. And then I'll worry about the details later. Oh, there we go. A little bit of darkness right there. Yep. See that? Like that. Okay. Just try to build it up as best we can. I think when I'm using the acrylic paint, I like to use a stiffer brush. To me, it makes sense to use a stiffer brush. Some of this, mix some of this yellow with this green. Try to get the other side of it. So the dark, what looks like black, is not black, it's Payne's gray. And I'm mixing it with the colors I'm using, whether it's green or yellow or blue. I'm kind of just using it for everything. It's kind of like one of my favorite things to do is to use that. I do call it the magic color. Yep. back to that. Right now, just get that all painted in there. We'll come back to that. Right now, I want to finish with the blues and the water. Keep it light blue. And I'm going to go over it later on to make the lights lighter even. But this is just what you call like a first sketch kind of. There we go. Well, the fire engines are already out there. Alright. Alright, now let's go for this dark green down here in the corner. I'm gonna have to get some more Payne's gray on my palette. And then we get some of this yellow up here. Much of that yellow as I can. Let's keep putting that on there. Some more dark green here. And try to come up to a point at the top. I hope everybody's alright. I hear the sirens. I think they're coming down my road too. There we go. That's going to be the trail right there, the path. I guess you can tell that, right? Alright. Okay. Let's get some of this this lighter color here. This is, I think this is yellow ochre. I'm going to use some yellow ochre here. Ochre and maybe even add some white to it. Make it a little bit brighter. Touch everything up a little bit. Alright, well, now we're starting to see, the composition coming together. So let's take another brush and again, I'm using pretty stiff brushes today. Let's add some background over here on the other side of the lake. Here we go. Little area over there where the sun is hitting. And over here. Keep it light green, a yellow green. Let's try it. There we go. Get some yellow into those trees, some yellow green, some light yellow green. Get some dark green in there too. Mix it with this Payne's gray. Here we go. All right, let's get some of that yellow in there. Some of that light. The light's coming from the right, so make it all white here. Just keep working it on there. Here we go. Now you can start to see it. And we'll put some up here on this tree here, where the light is hitting the tree. We haven't even put the trunk of the tree in there yet, but we will, don't worry. In fact, I think it's time to do that right now. Let's start here. What does they call a happy tree? The Bob Ross dictionary. Let me take a word from the Bob Ross dictionary and call it a happy little tree, or happy big tree. Maybe it's a big tree. Put a little bit of a root down here. There we go. Put that tree in there. A happy big tree. Yeah, I hope you don't mind that I took some time to tell you about my weight loss thing. I'll be honest with you, it's embarrassing, but at the same time, I wished that when I said those things that you would perhaps have, if I know everybody doesn't need that information, but somebody might out there, I hope. That's what I'm hoping. Let's see. Maybe another tree back here. A smaller, or not smaller really, just more in the background. There we go. Alright. Let's add some darkness down here on the edge of this walkway. Some shadows. I'm gonna need some more Payne's gray here. A little bit over here. Okay. Let me get a little bit more Payne's gray. A little bit more. There we go. All right, let me get another stiff brush. That one's a little too stiff. This one will work, I guess. Alright, I'll use a little bit of this. On this tree, this is yellow ochre. Putting on the side of the tree, just a little bit of it. Okay, now let's use some white. Let's just get some white on there. Yeah. yeah, that looks good. Just drag it all the way up to the side of the tree. It's got that bark reflecting the light. There we go. Here we go. Alright, let's take some of that white now and let's find a way to make this a little bit whiter in the lake. Get some of that yellow over here. There we go. Let's get some of that Payne's gray. Put it in there. Just keep adding to it. Here we go. A little more dark over here. Alright, now I'm not sure what I want to do now. I'm not sure. I guess maybe a little bit more yellow. So this areas here. Kind of like that, I guess. take a smaller, but still a stiff brush. Let's see if I have one in here. Let me see. Okay, that might work. That might work. That might work. Let's try some of those. All right. Okay. Get some of this. There we go. Some of these yellow, these light greens. There we go. Add some centers now to some of these. Okay, now let's go for that smaller brush. Let me get some more yellow. I think I'm gonna need that again. Lemon yellow is what it's called. Lemon yellow. Very pretty. Some in there. And go back to this paint gray and get some wisps up here. Some grass that's growing over this walkway here, this little path. And over here a few. A little bit more. There. I think it is done. I think. What do you think? I didn't even use this. This is acrylic medium. I didn't really use it. But I think there's our canvas landscape for today. A day at the lake. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.